You have fire in your gut? Okay, we're here for a reason to win games. So if you didn't have that fire in your gut, you better light the fire pretty fast.
All right, welcome back to the latest greatest episode of the Shaving Points podcast. I'm Jayton May, joined as always by my co-host Quentin Crisco as we break down this week's NFL slate. What are we, week 8, week 9?
Week 8.
Week 8 NFL slate, all the games, all the lines, all the totals, and a quick 15 to 20 minute episode. So starting out, we got Thursday Night Football. We got Vikings going to face the Rams. Rams 3-point underdogs at home, 48.5 point total. I'm taking the Vikings here. I like what they're doing. I think they're a complete team. I think the defense is playing well, and I think the Rams might be about ready to sell in the season.
I get the feeling that the Rams are in a similar spot, but I like the Vikings traveling all the way to – I like the Rams because the Vikings are traveling all the way to L.A. after playing the most physical team in football in the Detroit Lions in an emotional game that came down to the wire. I just think the Rams are in a good position to take advantage here. So I'm actually taking Rams +3, even though I do think the Vikings are vibing better than the Rams right now.
Yeah. All right, next up we have Eagles going to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Bengals 2.5 point favorites here, 48.5 point total. I am taking the over 48, or I actually have 47.5, and I'm taking Cincy -2.5. I think Cincy gets rolling here. I think Joe Burrow is kind of creeping into that MVP conversation right now. They win this game, they'll be 500 on the season. Weak AFC, I think they make a run. They go up there, get that 5 or 6 seed by the end of the year, and since he's going to be absolutely alive going forward, and I think it starts with this game. I think they win this game, win it pretty easily.
I'm staying away from this one. I get the feeling that this is going to be a weird Kellen Moore game where the offense kind of falls flat for the Eagles, and then for the Bengals, I'm a little concerned with their offense only scoring 17 and 21 the last 2 weeks. I know they have all the weapons. I know that they can do it. I just don't know when they will particularly. So I'm staying away. I have a lean towards the under, but nothing strong enough to actually consider.
Yep. Next up, we got Ravens at Browns. Browns 10.5 point underdogs, 44.5 point total. Ravens might be the best team in football right now. Derrick Henry looks absolutely incredible. Jameis coming in to be that spark plug for the Browns after Deshaun Watson pops his Achilles, but I can in good faith bet on this Browns team right now, and this Ravens team just looks so damn good. Mark Andrews is starting to get rolling in that offense. Derrick Henry is going to go for 2,000 yards this year. Really, really hard to bet against the Ravens right now, even on the road as double-digit favorites in a division game. I'm just avoiding it, but I do lean Browns as double-digit home dogs in a division game, but can't take it.
Yeah, I'm staying away. I have a lean towards the Browns here at +10.5. Honestly, I might sprinkle the Browns money line just because it's going to be juicy, and I think there is potential for there to be a weird energy boost from that team from the new quarterback coming in. But ultimately, I need to see something real from the Browns before I'm buying anything. So I'm staying away from this one because I just don't know what to expect.
All right, next up we have Titans versus the Lions. Lions 10.5 point favorites at home, 45.5 point total. This is one I'm staying away from. I think the Titans defense can muck it up just enough to make this interesting. But the Lions, like you said, most physical team in football, one of the most talented teams in football, losing Jamison Williams because he continues to be an absolute liability off the field does hurt for the Lions, but I think they're more than talented enough. Jahmyr Gibbs, one of my favorite players in the league. David Montgomery, he can shatter his ankle into a million pieces and come back a quarter later. That's just the DeMont way. It's the Lions. It's always the Lions. And not taking this game just because it's a monster spread, but I would lean the Lions.
Yeah, this number is too big for me to really consider strongly here. I think the Lions are the much better team. I don't even know who's starting at quarterback for the Titans, whether it's Levis or Mason Rudolph or who knows, someone else. But I'm staying away from this. I have a lean towards the Lions -10.5, but weirder things have happened than the Titans covering this number, so I want nothing to do with it.
Yep. Next up, we have Colts Texans. Texans 5.5-point favorites at home, 46.5-point total. We both talked ourselves into taking the Texans on this in the long form. I think the Texans are just such a complete team. They win at all phases of the on the football field, and so really like Texans here. Colts have some question marks. Jonathan Taylor will be back, but they're probably a better team with Joe Flacco. But you got to play the rookie or the de facto rookie, I guess. He missed all of last season, basically. But you got to play Anthony Richardson. I understand that, but probably better with Flacco. But I'm taking the Texans here.
Yeah, the Colts secondary is not good. I get the feeling this is a get right game for the Texans against this Colts secondary. Their defense is generally fine talent wise, like in the front seven, but with the way their secondary is, I worry about that. So I just think the Texans are going to win this game by a touchdown plus. I ended up taking Texans minus 5.5 because of it, and it feels like a get right game for them for me.
All right, and then we got Packers, Jaguars. Jaguars 4.5-point underdogs at home, 50.5-point total. I talked about it earlier. I think the Jaguars could get a win here and possibly make a run. Then I looked at their future schedule. I don't know how much of a run they'll be making, but something is to be said about going to Florida this time of the year where it's still really, really, really hot. And Jaguars getting back from London. They're a traveled team. They play in London every year, but something about this Jaguars squad is just kind of reaching out to me, but I'm not taking it.
Yeah, I'm taking Packers minus 4.5 here. I like the way the Packers are playing. I think that defense is eating right now. I think they can really do some bad things to the Jaguars offense, and I'm not sure the Jaguars defense can match that. I think they're one of the easier defenses to score on in the league right now. So they did just get Tyson Campbell back. That helped them last week. It's going to continue to help them, but still, I think that secondary's weak. I think that you could run the football on them. That linebacker core is a real issue right now. So I'm taking Packers minus 4.5. This is an easy play to me.
Yep. Next up, we have Cardinals, Dolphins. Dolphins 3.5-point favorites at home, 47.5-point total. Tua's back. And do we see this Dolphins offense come back to form immediately? Does it take some time? I don't know. We're not sleeping on the Cardinals this year, but with so much uncertainty around this Dolphins team, I can't take this one. I would probably lean Cardinals just because we know what they are at this point. But that Dolphins, they're so wide open with Tua back.
Yeah, I have a light lean towards the Dolphins here, but ultimately I need to see it before I trust it. I didn't go back and look at what Tua did the last time he came back from one of these concussions, how he looked. I get if my memory serves right, I think he came back like he didn't miss a step, but each concussion's different. I don't know what to expect here, so just a lean towards the Dolphins.
All right, we got Jets, Patriots. One of the grossest games of the week. Patriots +7 at home, 41.5-point total. Jets absolutely destroyed the Patriots on Thursday Night Football earlier this season, but that was not Drake May, and the Jets have looked like dog shit, and they look like they're quitting on the season. So I'm avoiding this game because I don't really know what to think. I would love to see Drake May go out there and sling it and have a good game, but overall, I'm staying away from this one. What do you got?
I might sprinkle Patriots money line on this too because I think it's juicy. But ultimately, as far as posted plays go, I'm not taking anything on this. I want the Patriots to win this game. I want the Patriots to cover. I'm probably biased at this point over it, and I don't trust the Jets are a far more talented team. I don't know what they are though. I don't know if stuff's going to start to click. It's just there's too many unknowns there for me to bet this game.
All right, now we got Falcons and Buccaneers. Buccaneers 2.5-point dogs at home, 46.5-point total. Buccaneers losing their 2 star wide receivers after Baker started out red hot, was right in the thick of the MVP race. It's hard to lose those 2 guys. I gotta stay away from this one. I know you like this game, but I'm not touching it.
Yeah, I'm taking the over 46.5. I actually don't think I realized Chris Godwin was out when I made that bet. And I don't know if I fully thought through the Mike Evans one, but I'm riding with it because I think the Falcons are going to put up points in this game. I think Baker's going to find a way. He's found a way with worse offenses around him. So Baker's a gunslinger. He's going to sling it.
All right, we got Saints, Chargers. Chargers 7.5-point favorites at home, 39.5-point total. Justin Herbert is mid-average, 500 quarterback. They're 500 right now. He is 500 on his career. He has thrown 6 touchdowns this season, and the Saints are dog shit. So I don't know what to do on this game. I'm staying away from it.
I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole. Like I think the Chargers are going to cover this. I guess that's my lean. But there's like 7.5. I don't know if the Chargers have earned the right to be 7.5-point favorites against many teams, and I don't know what the Saints are doing at this. The Saints just feel like they're stuck in purgatory of like we might find ways to be good, but more likely we're not going to be good. And there are a few really gross games this week, and this is up there with them.
Shout out Alvin Kamara getting his bag. All right. Bills, Seahawks. Seahawks +3 at home. 47.5-point total. I like the Bills here. I'm not taking them, but I really like the Bills. And you talked me into the over on the long form.
Yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks +3 and the over 47.5. We have 2 of the best quarterbacks in the game right now. Geno Smith is playing outstanding football. Josh Allen looks like something clicked the last week or two. This Bills offense should start to really get moving now that they added Amari Cooper. I think that puts everyone in a better role for themselves. Like Keon Coleman is not an X receiver, and he's been playing an X receiver position. So getting him in the right role, I think, really helps this offense. Getting a real X really helps this offense. But Seahawks at home, Buffalo Bills flying all the way across the country. I have to take Seahawks +3 there.
Don't hate it. All right, now we got Panthers, Broncos. Broncos 7.5-point favorites at home, 43.5-point total here. One of the worst teams in the league, if not the worst team in the league, and the Panthers versus. Are the Broncos fraudulent, or have they just not really played a whole lot of good teams?
I think their defense is stout.
I think their defense is very good. I'm not touching this one. I think the Broncos could have been much better served going to get a quarterback rather than drafting Bo Nix where they did. But hey, they're winning games.
I've got the Denver Broncos going to 5-3 here and covering this 7.5 number. I don't think they're going to throw this. I don't think you have to throw the football in this game. I don't think the Panthers D line can stop anybody.
Javonte Williams also looking very good this season. Shout out Pookie.
And I don't know if the Panthers can score much on the Broncos. In Denver, we're talking about Carolina traveling to Denver, 2 Mile High, big element here. I am sick and twisted in the head for taking Denver here, but I am.
Love it. All right, we got Chiefs, Raiders. Raiders at home in Vegas. 9.5-point dogs. 42.5-point total here. I'm taking the under 42.5 here. I think the Chiefs might have the best defense in the league. Raiders are up there with the worst offense in the league. I think the Raiders defense is plenty good enough to keep the Chiefs under 30. And I just don't see how the Raiders get to double digits. So pretty easy underplay for me here.
Yeah, I'm staying away from this one. I don't know. I could see this being a really ugly, weird game. I could see the Chiefs winning 50-3. I don't.
That's what scares me about the under is the Chiefs having 2 or 3 pick sixes or
so I'm just staying away. I can't bet that game.
All right, now we got game of the week: Bears, Commanders. Commanders 2.5-point home dogs, 44.5-point total. Commanders have been red hot this season, even with Marcus Mariota at the helm with no Jaden Daniels. I like Cliff Kingsbury and Dan Quinn to get it done. I like Commanders. I got them at +3. And I do have the over 44.5 in this game. What do you think?
I've got Bears -1.5. I bet this on Monday. I still like them at 2.5 here. I just think with Mariota in there, Eberflus has really done a good job of beating up on backup quarterbacks over the last two years and change as the Bears head coach. Eberflus has been really good against the spread with extra rest. 2-0 off the bye, 5-2 on 8+ days rest against the spread. So I think that he's going to find some keys to stopping this offense, and Bears are going to roll.
Bears roll. All right. Got Cowboys, 49ers. 49ers 4.5-point favorites at home in San Francisco. 47.5-point total. I'm so done with this Cowboys team. This 49ers team is very, very injured. Both of these teams desperately need a win. And if you're telling me you have Kyle Shanahan desperately needing a win versus Mike McCarthy's fat ass desperately needing a win, I'll take Kyle Shanahan in that spot. I'm not betting this game. I have no desire to watch this game. I will watch this game if the Cowboys win. I will probably be way too back into the Cowboys than I should be just to get my heart broken. I'm in a good spot right now. Just let the season go on and continue. If the Cowboys win, I could be setting myself up for a very, very bad season. So I just want this game to be over so I know what to feel.
Brandon Ayuk is dead. Christian McCaffrey's dead. Deebo Samuel's dead. But you know who's still alive?
Greg Kittle might be dead.
Jerry Jones is still alive. I'm not touching this game.
All right, we got Giants, Steelers. Steelers 5.5-point favorites at home, 36.5-point total. This Steelers team might be for real. Mike Tomlin did it again. They just play good football. Russie, Justin Fields, it don't matter. They get good to decent quarterback play. They play great defense. Najee Harris been running the piss out of the football. They're a hard team to play with, and the Giants are a team that can maybe win a game if they can catch you off guard, get Malik Neighbors going. I think the Steelers are just so fundamentally sound that you can't go in there, and the Steelers are never going to be like, oh, well, that happened in that game. Like they're going to be good. You're going to have to go out there and beat them on the field. And I don't think the Giants can do that. I'm not taking this game. What do you think?
Steelers O-line magically found some fixes when Justin Fields wasn't the quarterback. What a shocker. Give me Steelers -5.5. I think they're going to play a good game. I think Russ is making the right calls at the line of scrimmage. And I think that goes a long way and opens up the playbook a pretty decent amount for the Steelers. And they're going to be able to continue to grow off some stuff that they weren't able to do with Fields and open that playbook up more this week.
Yep.
College football.
All right. College football bets. I'm going with the troops, taking the Navy midshipmen, staying home versus Notre Dame, 12.5. I like Navy in that game. Indiana, Kurt Signetti and the boys. I'm done sleeping on Indiana. I like them -6.5 with Washington coming to Indiana. Next up, I have BYU +1.5. BYU still getting no respect, even though they're undefeated, number 11 team in the nation, going to UCF. Give me BYU +1.5. I might just take them on the money line at +125 too. Next up, SMU and the Ponies. I'm taking them -11.5, going to Duke. And then last but not least, I have Nebraska, Ohio State over 48.5.
And I've got Syracuse +5.5 going to Pitt. I have UNLV at home against Boise State +3.5. I have Illinois +21.5 going to number 1 Oregon. LSU going into College Station on the money line against Texas A&M. I have Colorado -5.5 at home against Cincinnati, and SMU -11.5 on the road at Duke.
Love it. All right, a little bit for us this week. Kept it under 20 minutes. Want to give a big shout out to Cupcake. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
You the best. The behind the scenes man that keeps this thing going. So thank you, Cupcake. We love you. Happy birthday. And don't sleep on them dirty birds.
Don't do it. Caca.
That's how we've won all year, team, right? Hey, you held them to 20 points, man.
Yes,
you
sir.
gave us a chance at the end. I got 3 words for you. You like that?